Hi guys, it's Yashi. Today with a Zillow market update. Zillow recently released an article about October sales, which unexpectedly rose compared to what they were expecting. In this video, we're gonna first go through the Zillow article, then look at general data, and then I will give you my own opinion based on what I've been seeing and what I've been experiencing as a home investor. So let's get started here. October new home sales unexpectedly increased in October. There were 632K home sales nationwide in October, up 7.5% compared to the month before. However, new home sales are down 5.8% from October 2021, according to the US Census Bureau. Median sales price is $493,000, up still 15% compared to October 2021. Everybody talking about drops in prices. Yes, we saw drops in prices, but we're still 15% up compared to last year. The seasonally adjusted estimate of new houses for sale at the end of October was 470K, so this is what they were expecting, a supply of 8.9 months at the current sales rate. Actually, the sales were much higher, and this is why the housing supply actually dropped. So let's go on here. A record high number of new units under construction, the largest in more than 14 years, is slowly finding the way on the market. Yet months of supply, the number of months it would take to sell today's inventory at the current sales pace, actually fell in October. This suggests that many buyers may still be waiting on the sidelines. Still, affordability is the biggest challenge. This is why many buyers backed off. Although demand has fallen when compared to a year ago, many buyers are still waiting for something good to show up and for downward pressure for mortgage rates to fall. With existing homeowners sitting out of this market as well, newly built homes have been making up a growing share of the housing supply. What this is saying is current homeowners that locked in a 3% rate are not incentivizing and selling. So most of the supply that is starting to come in onto the market is new homes. And I can tell you also from a personal perspective, I invest in Central Virginia. I saw a big shortage of supply, and lately supply picked up a little bit, but most of those supplied homes are new homes. There's few used secondhand older homes for sale. Now let's go on to the data. We're gonna start with months of supply, and months of supply is tricky because according to different data points, we have the US Fred, we have Redfin, we have Zillow. Everybody has different data, different numbers, but we're gonna start with the US national data here. Months of supply is 8.9 months, which according to general housing economics, is a pretty healthy supply. I don't believe this is true because firsthand, I experience still a shortage of supply in the areas I invest in and I live in. And I believe that data such as the Zillow data or Redfin is actually a little bit more accurate. In this case, we still have 3 months of supply. Why am I saying that it is more accurate? Well, first of all, I sold my current house. Actually, it was pending after one day of being on the market. So that's how much demand I saw there. And I received multiple offers from people in one day. This is why I believe that 8 months of supply is actually not really realistic. 3 months seems to be more realistic. And I'm investing in more of a rural area, not even a metropolitan area, which is much more competitive. Let's go on with general mortgages. Why am I looking at mortgages? Mortgages are important because the lower the mortgage interest rates on average, the more buyers are incentivized to get in the market and buy a house. We've been seeing mortgage rates going up in the past couple of months, but since the last CPI report, the inflation report, which was better than what people expected, we saw mortgage companies, banks, starting to lower their interest rates because they're starting to feel a little bit more stability. On top of that, yesterday, if you check this video, I mentioned how the Federal Reserve said that they will slow down their rate increases, which could signal that they might be pivoting sooner than what we think, which will improve the market. So interest rates now, they used to be 7% last month, are under 7%, so they seem to be dropping, which seems to be incentivizing a few buyers. Everything makes sense. Last but not least, here is another data point saying that home inventory is actually dropping. And if you go back on Redfin, with homes sold, we go on median sale price, we can go on housing supply right here, newly listed homes, homes for sale are actually dropping. So Zillow said that sale price increased. So sorry, selling amount of sales increased. They also said that most of the new supply of new homes is new homes because homeowners are not selling their houses, which could be signaling multiple things. On one hand, we have supply that, yes, is increasing on the new home perspective, but if we look at general data, because people are not putting their current homes for sale, generally speaking, supply is dropping. At the same time, we have sales picking up because mortgages are going lower, and people are starting to see the situation as the new status quo. They're starting to realize that, yes, everybody was expecting a crisis in the past 6 months and nothing happened. Prices are still the same. Let's get in before people realize that this is the new status quo, and we start fighting with other buyers. This is, I believe, what has been happening. Now, I believe that once people start realizing that we won't see too much of price movements, we will have more and more buyers flooding the market, especially the ones that are paying these staggering rents and want to get out of the slavery of rent. And we will see home supply possibly drop even more. Yes, home supply from new builders is coming up, but is it enough? Let's go at permits that have been pulled by home builders. In the past 10 years, we never surpassed the building amount that was occurring in 2005. So on top of having halted for a few years, basically, which means that the demand for homes and the supply have been diverging more and more, we never picked up enough for the demand of homes that was increasing. On top of that, because of home builders being scared, we also noticed that home builders are pulling less and less permits because they're scared of losing money, as it happened in 2008, which on one side makes sense. On the other, we still have a shortage of a few million homes out there. So if you're expecting a crisis in the next couple of years, and you're looking at this graph and you see that there's a downward trend in terms of permits being pulled, which means that less homes will be sold and put on the market, on top of already seeing current homeowners putting less of their homes for sale, we can see that we might go through another shortage of homes in the future, kind of like what happened during COVID, which could lead to an affordability crisis like no other. Pretty much the total opposite than a 2008 crisis. Instead of having a market where everybody could potentially afford but nobody wants to buy because they're scared, we could get into a market where there's so few homes for sale, everybody's paying increasing rents, everybody wants to get out of rent, and they'll be okay with spending staggering amounts to own a house. That's the actual situation I believe we could potentially get into. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, this is just my opinion. And out of personal experience, I can tell you that my house went under contract in one day. I bought another 2 houses off market because if I was on the market, I would have been competing with too many people. And most of the supply I saw also in the area I'm investing in is mostly from new homes. There's very few of these old houses. I mostly look for condemned houses. There's no people selling condemned houses out there. So there is a shortage of houses, in my opinion. Now, I've been looking at multiple data sets because data is not always the same across all the different companies. So I hope you understand this. And this is all for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Ciao.